Hello, friends. Good afternoon. My name is Sivam Velayudham, and thanks for actually watching. And then it's nice to see you very quickly again on the second show. It's a very, very special show, and I would like to thank one of the guests here. But before I bring him in, and also I just want to have a brief introduction about Voice of Men 360 and also International Men's Day, and also the six pillars or the talk show what we're going to talk about today. um, the Voice of Men 360 is actually it started it's a non-profit organization. It is based in Toronto, Canada, and it's recently started, and it is part of International Men's Day. International Men's Day has been here for more than 20 years. This year 2020 is the 21st year. So IMD, International Men's Day, actually focusing six pillars. Last 20 years or so, about 90 countries or nearly 90 countries from world around the world joined together, and then they are taking initiatives on a regular basis. So let me share the six pillars so you will have a better idea. Number one, to promote positive male role models, not just movie stars and sportsmen, but everyday working class men who are living decent, honest lives. Number two, to celebrate men's positive contributions to society, community, family, marriage, childcare, and the environment. Number three, to focus on men's health and well being, social, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Number four, to highlight discrimination against men in areas of social services, social attitudes, expectations, and law. Number five, to improve gender relations and promote gender equality. Number six, to create a safer, better world where people can be safe and grow to reach their full potential. These are the six pillars we are working on that. And every time we have a situation or information, whichever it's relevant, very useful for the community, we always bring it and then share it from this platform. So we have a today special guest, friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Stephen Clark here, and then he's going to talk about uh, COVID um, COVID response package. So this is very important. We all together are living or going through the same life situation. So let's hear from Stephen. Stephen, please, welcome to the show and thank you for being here, and give us some very introduction about yourself, and then go ahead from there.
Sure. Thank you, Sivam. And congratulations. Voice of Men 360, obviously a very important event coming up, and something we should all get behind. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm going to talk a little bit about my background, my company. My company is a for-profit social enterprise that has introduced a disruptive model into the giving space, a positive disruption. We actually partner with a number of charities now. But originally, it was all about ending hunger in North America. It's kind of expanded quite a bit to include other causes because of our partnerships with charities and other organizations. But one of the things I want to talk about today is COVID, because let's face it, we're all affected by it, and we're all looking for solutions. And also, I think for the most part, people are a little bit they're a little confused as to what's going on, what we can and can't do, what we should be doing, and more importantly, where's the end to this? Because we have some companies now talking about, in fact, one of our clients in the United States pushed back a program that was supposed to launch this year, and in our latest conversation with them, suggested that it might not launch until 2022 because we're just facing the unknown. So what we decided to do, we pivoted a little bit around our feeding program, and we decided to build what we now refer to as the COVID response package. And because COVID has affected us all, we wanted to create a program that benefited us all. So the program is quite simple. You're going to be, people are going to purchase from us as a for-profit social enterprise, the food, the non-GMO organic food that we formulate and manufacture. We're going to take that food in their name. We're going to send it to one of our participating partners, charity partners like Second Harvest, Breakfast Clubs of Canada, Feed America in the States. And because we send it in your name and because of the price point, they will send you a tax receipt for 100% of it. So you're getting a tax receipt for the full amount. And of course, now the basis is what are you giving to a charity? Now the question is, especially the young people ask, well, what am I giving the charity and what's the impact? Well, in our model, what you're giving to the charity is food, and obviously 100% of that is going back to the people who need it. And we're charging $1.33 a meal, so obviously no one's getting rich in our program. So that's the first part. The second part is everybody who purchases and continues to purchase receives a discount mobile app with literally hundreds of thousands of vendors all over North America. In Canada, there's close to 3,000 now. In the United States, there's hundreds of thousands. And all of our vendors, from travel to restaurants, bars, hotels, electronics, box, clothing, will offer you a minimum 15% off every time you use it. So the idea behind that, of course, is you're going to save more that's actually costing you to feed that person. So as per our model, you're going to win more than you put in. And that's really important to us. Then in the COVID response package, we're also based on the number of people, we're going to put programs together where we can draw trips for next year. We're going to give back in that particular way so that you can win other things. We're actually working with a number of groups to do this. And of course, with Voice of Men 360, we're going to be able to give back there so that, again, everybody wins more than they put in. So that's the program that we've got going for this. We've launched it. I guess we launched it about 3 weeks ago. It's gone far. It's already exceeded our expectations and continues to do so. And we're just very excited to be able to bring it. And for me to be part of the Voice of Men 360 and speaking at the event, I'm just looking forward to that and being able to share stories about, my journey and where I came from and how I got to where I am now. So thank you again, Sivan, for giving me this opportunity. And, we're looking forward to not only feeding a lot of people, giving back to other causes, and making sure that people are out there saving a lot of money on items that they already are purchasing through our discount mobile app.
Let's talk about what's, it is actually $39.70 and what's included, and then, how long, and then just go a little bit of details. So
Sure. Absolutely. So it's $39.70, and they're buying 30 meals. Our meals are formulated by us. They're non-GMO organic food. So for all you vegans out there, they're vegan food, because we wanted to make sure that we got healthy food to those people who need it. Because generally speaking, one thing we don't talk about is in the over 40 million people that go hungry in Canada, the United States alone, 1 in 5 children in Canada go to school hungry, 1 in 6 in the United States. But when they do get food, because obviously the positioning is, well, they just need food. They're not getting food, so let's give them whatever we can. We wanted to kind of up the ante on that and say, well, let's make sure that the food is healthy, nutritious, and it's something that's good for them. So our food, you're buying the 30 meals, $1.33 a meal is what it works out to. And again, they're being shipped directly to our charity partners in your name. So that's what the person is buying. If you really want to simplify the model, you're just buying 30 meals from a for-profit company. And then after that, that's where the real magic happens, where we're able to do so many different things.
Nice. How about just give some ideas, as an individual and self-employed or even a corporation, how they can benefit, or sometimes even though we say it, they still have a question, and then they come up with some kind of confusion. So let's talk about what's the advantage and then how they can benefit and then what they can get out.
Sure. Well, I think first of all, I mean, one of the great things about our discount mobile app is it encompasses, all the purchases that you're already buying. So you're going to get, these discounts. And when we did our focus groups, and we did a number of them, we took case studies, and we couldn't find anybody that was going to save less than $3,000 a year on buying things that they already buy. Now that they're getting a 15% discount, sometimes greater than somebody actually through our app joined one of the health clubs, and they got a 50% discount. So there's all of these different discounts that you can use every day. And of course, the young people love apps. It's an app, and they just take it and they show the app, they get the discount. So it's those everyday purchases that are, so important, and all those things add up. So if you can, the reality is if you can save $3,000 a year by spending $464 a year, that's the $39.70 times 12. That's obviously a good deal for everybody. And plus, you get the tax receipt on the 464. So again, it's a win-win-win. And then more importantly, which sometimes when we start talking about all the different wins, the most important thing for us, of course, is the biggest winners are the people who need the food.
Exactly, absolutely. And I mean, it's an amazing program, and also not only this time, but also continuously we can have. I see the number is staggering. 1 in 7 people in North America face hunger every year, and also 1 in 5 children in North America is lacking proper access to food. But most of us had a kind of like a luxury life, or we always get food here and there. But but we don't know number of children they don't eat, or they cannot afford to have the 3 days meal. So it's really it's not acceptable. So one other thing is what's can only Canadians participate or make a donation, or any other part of the world?
So right now, I mean, we're set up. Anybody can donate. Obviously, they can. We're all done electronically, where you buy the food and everything. Tax receipts are only given out to people in Canada, United States, because that's where we're officially registered with the charities. Mm-hmm. Eventually, we're going global. We're in our 5th year right now, and we've already got plans to open up in countries like the UK and Germany, and in fact Singapore, probably sooner than later. So the model's really taking off, and so is our business. And I think really it's just a new, its time has come. The charity model is broken, and I think a lot of the charities would agree with that. And it's not that no one's knocking the charities. The charities are, their intentions are always to do good, but the model that they've had forever is broken, and it doesn't offer the things that the younger people in particular are looking for today, which is transparency. They want to know exactly where their money's going, and the impact it's having. And the second one is they want to know what's in it for them. So charities, these are questions that are very difficult to answer, and so our model is built specifically around that. So again, everybody wins more than they put in, and that's why I think it's taking off, and it will be, over the next 2-3 years, we'll be in probably 10 different countries set up with this model, and we're already in those discussions now.
Already on the move to global, eh?
That's right.
How about the number of children you fed so far? Do you have any numbers?
Yeah, we're projected right now to by the end of this year, which is really interesting because we built up. We're a tech company, and all of the apps and the programs and everything, and so we felt with the programs we were rolling out this year, we could get as high as 500,000 to 1 million. Per month by the end of the year. And then, of course, all those programs were pushed back. And so we thought, well, what are we going to do? So we pivoted. We created these new programs, COVID Response Package, and our new B2B, which is the Social Impact Challenge. And so we're now projecting about 100,000 by the end of the year. which is really remarkable considering, we actually were going to, like a lot of people, just kind of scale back and say we got to kind of ride it out. We decided to, as I say, pivot, create some new programs, see if we could get more people fed, because, by the way, food insecurities have gone up anywhere from 17 to 20% around COVID in both Canada and the United States. And so there's even a bigger need right now. So, but again, everyone's hurting. So we need a model that's going to help everybody. And that's why, we created the COVID response package.
So the number you're talking about, 100,000 within North America, is that right?
Yeah, just in North America. Right now, we can only deliver the food in North America. Although we have one group, a church group from Africa that is looking at doing it, and they're because the church is a charity, as you know, so they're going to be doing the food. They're going to be taking the food, and then they're going to be shipping the food themselves back to Africa, because our food is very easy to ship. It's got a 2-year shelf life, so there's a lot of great things about it that we built in, knowing the situation that we might get into. So yeah, there's some also interesting things happening right now.
How about in terms of when it comes to privacy concerns, when it comes to the app? Sometimes the people nowadays is very hesitant. They see so many apps. So how do you tackle that with that privacy concerns?
Yeah, I think that, if the people are concerned with the apps, then they shouldn't use them. Let's face it, we're in an app world today, and you're downloading apps all the time. And apps, by the way, now, including ours, the security around them and the regulations required. I mean, to be on the App Store and Google Play, I mean, you have to have all these different rules and regulations that you must adhere to, because obviously it's them as well, both Google and Apple. So yeah, I don't think I'm not so sure how many people are really overly concerned anymore. It used to be, of course, we all knew. I was one of them. Well, I don't want to put my credit card online anymore because I'm afraid that that's pretty much gone. And apps are pretty much the same. And remember, the majority of the people today that certainly we're targeting are the younger people, and they certainly have no problems with apps. They were born with apps. They had their little phones in their cribs when they were kids. So yeah, they certainly have no problem. And yeah, I don't think that. I think that whole space now has really put so much security in place and everything that people are much more comfortable now dealing in that space.
2 questions before we end, Stephen.
Yeah.
One is that how is the support from the government agencies or the government, and also the politicians? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I think the government, the government does what they can. I think I almost look at the government model like the charity model. I think it's broken. I've made some real interesting suggestions. For example, over the last 5 years in my discussions with governments around the giving space, they didn't go over very well. But I think that, we need to challenge our governments to be better stewards of our money. And right now they tend to give it out pretty freely. And I think they need to be a lot more careful of that. I personally would like to see grants turned into loans. I'd like to see organizations that are doing good be more fiscally responsible, like we are. We're a for-profit social enterprise. We don't get grants. We don't get government funding. We're not interested in it. We have a sustainable model, and that's one of the cool things as well. If you're after grants, as nonprofits and charities get, and they rely on them, what happens if, for whatever reason, they stop? Yeah. Then they're in big trouble. And we happen to have been associated now with a couple of nonprofits and charities that's exactly what happened. And we said to them, well, then take control yourself. You control it. Partner with us. We'll get to sustainable income that you can count on through the feeding of people. So building collaborative models is, I think, what the future is around that space. But I mean, I'll never knock the governments. They do what they can. I think that we can do things a lot better, but then I think everybody can do things a lot better. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Absolutely. I agree. I completely agree with that.
Okay.
How about when it comes to distribution, to the places, the children places, where you actually, can you give some of the places, where it's going, the food and everything?
So here's the deal with our program, and people are always saying, well, can I ship the food here and can I ship the food here? So we need to make this very clear, and we do with everybody.
Yeah.
So we do not control where the food goes.
Okay.
Our partnerships are with the charities. Now, we only partner with organizations that have been around for a long time. So we vet them, and we're very happy with the partnerships we have. But organizations like, Feed America and Second Harvest and Breakfast Clubs of Canada have been around a long time. And so our deal with them is we simply ship them the food. They're in essence the food distribution charity is what they are. So where it goes, now we're as we grow with them, and we expect to be giving them over the next few years millions and millions of meals every month. We've got some ideas that we can kind of allot. My wife, for example, has got a program, a nonprofit called Immigrant Women in Business. I know you're very familiar with that. And they've set up the deal so that the food that they send through RTG Group will actually go to Indigenous people. So we can certainly indicate based on volume where some of it goes, but for the most part, I mean, you have to trust your partners. So obviously, Second Harvest, Feed America, Breakfast Clubs, I mean, they've been around for so long and they do such great work that, our job is to just make sure we get them the food and then they distribute it. And we know they're distributing it to the people that need it the most.
Exactly. Let's talk about the social impact. I know you are big on that. So please give some details on that.
Yeah, so we built. So I can tell you that we're not as clever as we think we are. We built originally a team building model for this. We wanted to get in the corporate world, of course. So we built a team building a program called the RTG Team Building Program, and that was we thought it was brilliant. Of course, realized that we weren't very brilliant, but we introduced it and had it tested by some companies, and it was about dividing up your employees into teams and seeing which team could feed the most people. And what we discovered from that, even though for the most part, it was well received and they had fun doing it, the problem in the corporate world and in general with the especially younger generations is they really get passionate about a cause. And if you're not doing programs around that cause, they just say, oh, that's great, but no, that's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on the climate or gender equality or racism or whatever it may be. And so they really don't get engaged. Yeah. So we decided that rather than continue down that road, we would build a new program for the corporate world. And that program now is called the Social Impact Challenge. Now, that program, based on not only the data we got, but also the experience, that program is really unique because we've noticed more and more companies are pre-selecting some of the 17 sustainable development goals that the UN created in 2015, and they're going and predetermining. So they're doing what we did. They're going and saying to their employees, "Oh, we're going to focus programs on these 3 or these 4 or whatever," and they're going to get exactly the same results. They're not going to get full engagement. So that was one of the things that we tackled. We said, well, how do we do that? And so in our new program, Social Impact Challenge, which by the way is just exploding with companies around COVID, is they sign up, they get all their employees engaged because the first thing that their employees see is all 17 sustainable development goals. And it's a challenge, and they decide which one that they're passionate about. And then there's all these challenges that focus on that particular goal, that particular sustainable development goal. And so now we're engaging them to get passionate about what they're already passionate about. So pick whichever sustainable development goal, or maybe there's 2 or 3 of them, you get engaged in those. And at the end of it, they're competing against the other employees, sometimes other companies. They have a lot of fun around it. But in COVID now, it's a great way because we can't bring our people together physically. So we have to do it virtually. This is a great program that will do that. So we're really literally booking hundreds now for January, February, March. Seem to be people want to kick the year off in a really positive way. So this is one of the programs. It's literally guaranteed to get employee engagement, help companies improve their culture, and that bottom line. So these are things that companies are looking for today, and this is the program, the RTG Social Impact Challenge. It answers all their questions and guarantees that they're going to get that engagement, bring people together, have fun doing it, and also make a big impact. And the great thing about it is you get a score based on every challenge. At the end of the month, we add up all the points, divide them by the number of employees, and every company will get a social impact score, or an XP score, we call it. Yeah, it's a really, really cool program.
1 + 1 = 3. What is that one?
Well, I think the whole idea behind that is we need to start thinking differently. We need to. I mean, the old way of thinking is just that. It's an old way of thinking, and times have changed.
Right.
And we need to change with the times. I think one of the real things for me was, I know a lot of guys I grew up with, and we really, a lot of them didn't adapt to the whole, technology and all this kind of stuff. I know some guys today say, well, social media is just a waste of time. I had somebody 2 weeks ago say to me, I can't believe you got 20,000 people on LinkedIn. I mean, what a waste of time that is. And I'm like, whoa, that's where we get 60% of our business, but okay. So, I think that we have to adapt, and we have to learn to adapt. And I've been fortunate to have that mindset that I got, by the way, from great mentors. And so I've been able to adapt, and our company is exactly that, a result of, the necessity to adapt and bring in new things.
Exactly. Thank you. I really appreciate that, all the information. So whoever wants to get more information, I have the number here. It's a 647-859-0126. And also you can go to RTG COVIDresponsepackage.com. But before we go off, Stephen, do you want to add anything,
No, I'd just like to thank you. I look forward to speaking next month at the summit. I think that some exciting times right now. I know that it's also difficult. It gets to me as well, regardless of how positive you are. We're kind of locked in. There's limited things we can do. It's frustrating. I think what we need to do is, and I'm working with people right now, develop the plan for next year. And what can you do now over the next couple of months that's going to kick off 2021 in a positive light? Stay focused on the positive. It's really what we focus on. It's easy to fall into that whole negative side of things, but you know what? There's a lot of positive out there as well. Stay focused on that. We will get through this. No question about it. We will learn from it, and we'll move on and be stronger because of it. So, stay safe, everyone. Follow the rules, and we'll get through this.
Exactly. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that again. COVID response package. Some of you guys, or most of you guys, already see the information or heard the information, but also you can go on YouTube and then see that information and then share that link so they can get to know, that other people get to know. So please subscribe our channel, Voice of Men 360. So every time you can get the information. And also, I'm looking forward to, work with you. And then, of course, we work together, and then we can help more people. All right. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure. Yeah.